Hi everyone, welcome back to the Student Management System series part 2 video. In the previous video, we saw the demo of the application and the technologies used to build this project. In this video, we will see how to create and set up the dynamic web application in Eclipse and also prepare the Oracle database for our project. For this setup, we are going to follow 5 steps. Step 1 is to create a dynamic web application in Eclipse. This option provides a structured project folder for building Java web applications. The project will have a structure like this. Student Management System in the src/main/java folder is used to create Java classes such as servlets and other backend logic. In the web content folder, it has JSP pages, HTML files, CSS and images which form the front end of the application. In the web.inf folder, it contains server related files such as web.xml and the lib folder where external libraries are stored. I am in my Eclipse IDE now. Let's create Student Management System dynamic web application. For that, go to File, go to New, click on Dynamic Web Project and name the application as Student Management System app. And that's it, no need to do any changes. Click on Finish. So our Student Management System app is created. Step 2 is to add the required libraries to the application. For database related operations, we need to add the JDBC driver jar file. To work with servlets, we need the Servlet API jar file which provides servlet classes and interfaces. We will also add JSTL API and JSTL implementation jar files which allows us to use JSTL tags inside our JSP pages. All these jar files must be added inside the lib folder of the web.inf directory so that the server can access them and make them available for the entire application. Now we will add the required libraries to our application. Explore the application, extend src main web app web.inf lib. So we have to add all our required libraries to the lib folder of web.inf directory. Let me copy all my jar files. So here I have a JDBC jar file, JSTL API and JSTL implementation jar file and servlet jar file. Copy all of them. Click on lib folder and paste them all. All the jar files have been added to the lib folder of our application. Now our application is ready with the all required jar files. Now we can start building the application. Step 3 is to create the required tables in the Oracle database. For this project, we need 2 tables. The first table is student details, which is used to store all the student information. The second table is admin details, which stores the admin credentials used for logging into the system. Currently, I am in my SQL developer interface. For our application, I am going to use MyDB database. This is the query to create our student details table. Here I have a total of 7 variables, that is ID, first name, last name, email, phone, department and city. Let me run the script. Table student details is created. Now let me insert some sample data into our student details table for testing purpose while we are building the application. So here I have created around 10 records to insert into student details. Let me run the script. Here you can see 10 rows has been inserted into our table. Let me click on tables, click on student details and go to data. So here you can see 10 records. Now our second table, we have to create admin details table. This is the query to create admin details table. Here I have ID, username, email and password. For admin, these 4 details are fine for now. And let me run the script. And table admin details is created. And in the same way, we will insert a couple of sample records for testing purpose. These are the sample records that we are going to insert. Let me run the script. You can see 2 rows has been inserted, and we will check on it, refresh the database. So here the admin details table, you can see, click on data, and you can see 2 records has been inserted into the admin details table. Step 4 is to create a sequence for the student ID. In our application, we do not insert the student ID manually. It should be generated automatically by the system, which is the professional approach that we're gonna follow. That is why we create a sequence for student ID. This sequence generates the next student ID automatically based on the previous generated value. We will create sequence for student ID. This is the query to create a sequence ID for student. So in the first line, I have create sequence student ID sequence. It will create a sequence called student ID sequence. It will start with the value 1010, and each time when we call the sequence, it will increase the value by 1. Run the script. Sequence is created. Commit the changes. In step 5, we will create a trigger for the student details table. This trigger will activate whenever an insert operation happens on the student details table. When a new student record is inserted, the trigger will automatically use the student ID sequence to generate the next ID value. The generated value will then be inserted into the student ID column of the new student record. So the trigger automatically assigns a unique student ID whenever a new student is added to the table. Now we will create trigger for student details table. This is the script to create a trigger. Run the script. Trigger student ID is compiled, and then commit the changes. Now our database is ready for the project development. In the next video, we will explore the MVC architecture of our student management system. We will also create the required bean classes and establish the database connection for our application. Thank you for watching.